The city of Al-Basrah in Iraq has been taken over by insurgents, which has denied NATO the ability to reinforce the region by both land and air. Insurgent forces are known to use guerrilla tactics to compensate for their lack of modern armament, and are currently postured to defend the eastern AO with heavy mobility assets. The enemy is controlling the main supply route into Iraq, so the British Armed Forces have deployed a specialized armored unit to clear the way for follow-on forces. This battle group was comprised to liberate locals from the invaders with an aggressive tank strategy. The commander's intent for this operation is broken down into 3 key tasks. Seek and destroy the 3 AA vehicles hiding in walled compounds, deconstruct blockades and demine the 3 main bridges on the eastern MSR, and RTB with the FV-4034 Challenger MBTs after completion of tasks 1 and 2. Allied vehicles allocated for this mission are as follows: 2 FV-4034 Challenger MBTs, call sign Sabre 1, 1 FV-107 Scimitar Recon Vehicle, Sabre 2, 1 LPPV Ocelot Light Vig, Aegis 1, 1 HX-60 Transport, Aegis 2, and 4 quad bikes, call sign Aegis 3. With the combined efforts of Challengers, Recon Vics, and mobilized combat engineers, Operation Atelic proves once again that armor superiority is king. Alpha Team starts off by going in loud, engaging soft forces guarding the compound that houses the first of the 3 AAs. The enemy is prepared for an attack by responding with an ambush by T-62 MBT that ultimately loses its fight to the Challenger. The anti-air is quickly dealt with, but Sabre 1-1 takes some track damage in the process. While repairing their own equipment, Aegis 3 gets pinned down by enemy armor, hoping to flank our tank.
Enemy armored vehicle. Enemy infantry vehicle.
It's a BMP. BMP is northeast. It's coming behind you.
I'm hearing a second one. That's not us. Or our tank.
Okay, try to fix this one. I'll seek this one out. It bounced off. It ricocheted. It's inbound.
Bravo Team gets a head start on the MSR by spearheading into the opposition's lines with the Scimitar, Sabre 2, while the Challenger holds the rear to ensure the first bridge can be cleared.
Is the bridge clear of mine?
Negative.
Okay, I had to quickly rearm.
Okay, it's coming.
Oh, it's copy.
With the first line of defense taken care of, Sabre 1-2 gains the clearance to flank to the other side of the bridge to get behind the remaining armor. Resisting the demining of the bridge, OPORD tracks the British tank, but it is quickly repaired despite continuing to take damage, and eventually returns to the staging area for rearming.
Turn the bitch around and drive.
Alpha Team is then rotated out from HQ to finish combat engineering tasks downrange. Scouts travel lightly and on foot to surveil armored patrols and to identify alternate routes for friendlies to flank the MSR.
We're right at this bridge. The bridge on the... Oh, get down!
Isolated T-62s are no match for Sabre 1-1, enabling Aegis 3 to zoom past wreckage to get to working on deconstruction at the second bridge. insurgents send armored scout cars to halt the engineers, but are taken out with superior firepower.
Alright, mines are clear, so we're finishing the tank traps now. Next bridge, last one. I saw tracers to the south. Was that you shooting, Saber One?
I think so. We shot a bit, but there's something shooting us. Yeah, there's something to the south.
Enlaw-wielding hat infantry holds off a tank ambush at the final bridge, but is overwhelmed by machine gun fire. Once again, the day is saved by the British tank, as he snipes the Soviet tanks with AP Sabo rounds. With proper backup in place, the engineers can finally finish tearing down at the third bridge.
Alright, looks, yeah, 3 tanks over by the bottom of the bridge here.
Bravo finds themselves pinned between urban obstacles in the city streets, and calls for help of the Scimitar to take out nearby infantry that is trying to lob AT grenades at them. BAF scouts find OPORD radio infrastructure that is heavily contested by foot soldiers. Saber 2 scares off the armored defense, while Saber 1-2 rushes in to hold the line. The FV-4034 finds and slaughters an insurgent reinforcement pod, which gives ground infantry a short window of time to take the radio building.
Great war all over again.
Keep watching that corner.
Not seeing anything here, we can move in. Building's right here with the radio.
Maybe it's like a dot or something.
You're gonna walk up and
I think it blew up. That was a medic here, right?
C4 going down, everyone clear out!
What are we doing?
Wait, why do you
With this radio gone, the British can now charge into the cluttered city with little resistance. Alpha Team Challenger and 2 quad bikes flank a hostile marketplace in search for another radio intelligence stash, working on eliminating armored patrols. Aegis 3 dismounts and breaches the market, executing CQB maneuvers with counter-frag grenade throws. The troops start gathering the intel as Saber 1 mows down the insurgents that are desperately trying to protect it.
He's got British behind him. Up, the hat's dead. Alright, radio's gone.
With the new intelligence gained, the battle group regroups to hit the remaining objectives, starting with destroying the second AA gun. For the third and final AA, Alpha calls in one hell of an artillery barrage directly on its identified location.
Yeah, sure, we'll call artillery there.
In true shock and awe fashion, the QRH completes their mission, then mounts up for a victory lap back to HQ. The team rallies on the MSR where they meet one final wave of hostility. Still clinging on to hope, the insurgents send everything they've got to keep the FV-4034s from getting back home safely. Surrounded by armored scout cars, combat engineers repair the tracks under gunfire quick enough to keep the convoy rolling, so the Hussars can get back to base before tea time.